The Nectar of Devotion by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada has Krishna's personality as its 23rd chapter. When we think of divinity, it is the most complete and perfect, regardless of if we are thinking about the essence, a particular name or quality, a form or condition by which we know these things. The Rodata is the attractive, the principled, the serious. When we think of the sent ones, they were examples of the Rodata, are indicators of the Rodata. The Vira Lalita is the accompaniment, the different roles of submission and controlling, and how divinity takes part in the pairings. The Vira Prasanta is peace, endurance, wholesomeness, empathy, it is what brings forth results. It is what preserves results. It reminds us to take on gentle tones, to ease into things. Now, there's also the aspect of Virodhata, which readily reacts, that deals with things in an adaptable way, that recognizes just how dark things really are. The things that take place, in a way, even when they're dangers, can be on the platform of protection. But it's important to understand the difference between an ultimate state, right? The Vishnu Yamala Tantra speaks of illusion, tiredness, mistakes, harshness, desire, being disturbed, arrogance, jealousness, violence, dishonor, exhaustion, lies, anger, lingering, dependence, wanting to control, dualism, and cheating, as at least in themselves, as a type of contamination. Are some of that's not always in the context of contamination. So maybe we can think of this in context of there are things we need to see beyond that being the thing, right? And whether we approach our own hero deeds or not, death awaits, and no one's going to do it for us. Now, if we live upon terms of eternity, ecstasy, and truth, that will bring us past those 18 conditions. Now, we understand the divine power over animals as only being a partial representation, as indicated in the Brahma Samhita. And it's only from our perspective of being too judgmental and that sort of stuff where we're going to find contradictions in the actual traits of divinity, in, much less in actual scripture. Because people's like, oh, I don't see how I could do both. But does it, is it contradiction in the absolute sense? No. Because divinity can act, at the same time in many different ways. But we, in our time, can manifest of some of these traits in a human way, of course.